Gotta do it, right?
You're not ready?
No, I'm not ready. Are you recording this?
Of course.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah, indeed.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Just pretend it's vodka.
I don't drink.
Me neither. It's working day, huh?
It's working day. Wait.
No.
No.
Joking. Okay.
It's weekend.
It's weekend.
Hey.
Yay. Hello.
Yeah.
Is this good, sir?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Let's go.
Don't go there, Cooper.
Oh, good. You're gonna sit?
If you ask him, he sits.
Oh.
Down. Even better.
Even better.
Even better.
And now stay still for the next 4 hours. Huh? It's a start.
That's a start.
That's a start.
Yeah.
So, a new SharQ Talk.
Yeah.
With one long overdue meeting.
Yes.
Because I asked you, I think before.
Probably. I think so. A couple of times.
Yeah. And now it was like we're still in kind of the coronavirus lockdown stuff thing. So no better time than now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's start with yourself introducing. I think that's the most easiest thing to do, so people know who they're listening to, because they know my voice. I always start with that.
Oh, you have one of those
Yeah.
voices. Yeah. Well, hello. I'm Barbara Santos, as you announced me.
Yes.
Sometimes known as MissB, Porty's Diary, or any other kind of things. But yeah, you can call me Babs for today.
What?
Babs.
Babs?
No, Barbara is fine.
Just Barbara. That's okay.
Just Barbara.
Yeah, just Barbara.
Yeah.
No, because we met a couple of times.
Yeah.
A couple of times more.
A couple of times.
And in the music industry.
Yeah.
But why we made I wanted to record this podcast is because you're also a writer,
Yeah.
a photographer.
Oh.
And also you're doing something at work where I still don't know what it is, but maybe
It's
we'll
top secret.
yeah, maybe we'll touch that later. But it's more like I mean you post a lot of on Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sometimes, but it's most of the times it's about traveling and doing things like that. And I was like, we should talk about that, because most of the times if we talk on this podcast, most of the times it's about music.
Yes.
And less about the traveling part. But you still need it. And if you want to go to nice cities, you know the highlights. And
you can combine both.
Yeah, exactly. So
I sometimes do that. Well, I used to do that.
We still
Nobody does anything like that anymore.
Oh man, we're not gonna talk the whole episode about the virus and stuff like that.
No corona. No corona.
No. We just ignore it. It's not there, and
it's not here.
No, it's not here.
People wear your masks.
Yeah, we still don't need to wear masks. It's another topic.
But anyway.
About traveling before 2020.
Before. Oh. Yeah.
Wait. I'm gonna change something.
What is it then? Oh, okay.
Oh, that's better.
This better?
Oh, that's way better.
Ah, you see?
I hope it's way better. Otherwise, it's the microphone or my cable. No.
Oh, did I just break the microphone? No.
No. It's all good.
No, but anyway, who am I? You were asking, right?
Well, it was about the traveling part. Yeah. Because you have a how can I say it? You have a blog about traveling, but it's separated in parts. I saw. Yeah,
the blog. So I write a blog since 2013, so it's going to be 7 years in August.
Oh, damn.
Big 7, huh?
That's a long time.
It's a long time, you know. I'm from old times as well, but anyway. So I write a blog, and it's called Porty's Diary. Porty's as in a diary from a Porty, and Porty being a nickname for a Portuguese girl.
Okay, makes sense.
Makes sense. And throughout the years, the blog kind of grew into a travel blog. That wasn't the intent in the first place, but it just went that direction.
What was the intent in the beginning?
Yeah, in the beginning, I thought like I wanted to share, back in 2013, blogs were a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just living here in the Netherlands for 2 years. And it's in that phase, at least for me, was like you were kind of you're not so into how do you say that? Things were not a surprise anymore. So Netherlands was becoming home, and at the same time, I was missing home in Portugal.
Yeah.
So I thought, what if I just shared my experiences while I'm here in the Netherlands? But soon enough, I realized I didn't have that many to share.
You could only write about the south of Holland, and that's it.
Yeah, but you know, I as a normal person, you know, I go to work, and my day is very.
That's 5 days a week.
That's 5 days a week, so it's a lot of time that I cannot share about what I'm doing at work either. So I realized, like, okay, yeah, maybe my friends are gonna like this, but they can just write me a WhatsApp asking how my day was. And then I thought, what if I turn this into more like other things I enjoy doing it, right? And another thing I really enjoy and have pleasure doing it and writing about is traveling. And, you know, because there's so many places that you can go and you see, and it can be useful for other people, not just my friends that probably will read what I write, but other people that might be looking for tips or tips or itineraries or what to see in such place or, you know, this kind of things. So throughout this almost 7 years, the blog became a travel / photography amateur.
Starting photography.
Yeah. Amateur style kind of blog, yeah.
Yeah, but it's mostly about the traveling part and seeing things.
Yeah.
But when you want to start, you said it's more. It started with the Netherlands.
Yeah.
And exploring the Netherlands is, especially this summer, maybe one of the things people should do.
Yeah.
And
should they be in the Netherlands?
But if you want to go on vacation, maybe the Netherlands is a great place to stay instead of traveling outside of the Netherlands. Yeah. But you explored it with different eyes because was just new to the Netherlands.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
Most of us are just living here anyway. And when you're young, your parents take you to Amsterdam or to Groningen or whatever, and you see it with kids' eyes. But for you, it was grown-up eyes. It was a different...
It's a different perspective.
Yeah.
And I have that same thing back in Portugal because I did a lot of road trips in Portugal, but as a kid.
Yeah.
And once you grow up, things just look differently. And even though Portugal and Netherlands are quite different countries and cultures, it's me being a person not from the Netherlands and, you know, just go around and see what's what. I think it's a really nice country. And it always amazes me when you say, oh, the Netherlands, people just say, oh, Amsterdam.
Yeah, that's one of the same for some people.
Yeah. Amsterdam is nice, but there are mini Amsterdams almost all over the Netherlands, you know, and it's just as beautiful, if not more, in my opinion. And I think that's worth sharing with other people because you can easily spend a nice holiday here if you want, if you're willing to do so.
Yeah, and you don't need to travel that long distance to go to a whole different towns.
No, and it's quite packed country, and it's small. It's relatively small.
You can drive from Maastricht to Groningen in 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, we can drive 100 now. So it takes 5 days now.
That takes 5 days.
But normally we could do that in 3.5 hours.
Everything was better before 2020.
Especially the driving distances.
Yes.
Distance is the same, but the time-wise, it's terrible.
Yeah.
No, but when you started to write about the Netherlands, what were you thinking? No,
I have no idea.
No, but
long time ago.
Yeah, a long time, 7 years ago. What was your intent to write about the Netherlands? Was it more like the exploring things, or more the factual things that?
It was a bit of both, but when I write about traveling, it's more like as if I can bring the reader along with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not so much, oh, you should stay there or visit this and this and that, and that's it, have fun. No, it's like, hey guys, look, I've been here and this is what I did. What if you just, you know, come and check it out? And I like to give tips, of course, and I think it's useful. But for me, when I first came here to the Netherlands, I also saw the big cities. Amsterdam, Rotterdam, and that was it.
Yeah, you have to. So yeah,
You have to. But I like to explore like small towns, for example. Those are great for just a one-day trip.
or less. If you go to Reuver, it's less than a day.
Well, you can walk really slow to make it a day. No, but it's those kind of things. And
But were you, I mean, some years ago, searching on Google, like where they have to go in the Netherlands, and you go to that place and write about it, or is this more like?
I normally start, so I check the country. So in this case, the Netherlands. Then I was like, oh, I've seen this and this and that. Then I check the capitals of the provinces to start with.
Okay.
Like the bigger cities and so on. Once that's done, it's like a to-do list. Once that's done, then I look like cute little towns that have something particular. For example, Thorn, I think is how you say it.
Yeah.
The white town. I mean, that's a super small town.
Yeah, that's true. It's just one road. That's it. But it's a really it has a lot of characteristic.
Yeah, it's very cute.
Yeah.
And it has this how do you say, characteristic of being white. Like most houses are all white. And that's something, let's say, unique.
Yeah, but if people were coming to the south of the Netherlands or to Limburg, for that matter, they go to Maastricht. Maybe,
and they should.
Maybe Roermond because of the shopping.
Yeah.
And maybe Venlo. I don't think even
Valkenburg.
think so. Valkenburg, of course. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but Valkenburg is really nice.
And that's about it. But Thorn is just in the middle of those two. And you can just go there within 40 minutes.
Yeah, you can do it like on the way to
exactly.
another place. And it's cute. It's a really cute town. Yeah.
But is that also for you a way to discover a country, that what you said, the capitals within the regions, and from there, what's next to it?
Yeah, because that's the same approach I did when I was a child in Portugal. And because the country has different regions, and as you visit one and the other and so on, you start noticing the small differences within the country. So I thought, oh, I'm going to do the same here in the Netherlands, right?
And did you all cross all? I think we have 12 provinces.
I don't think I've seen them all.
No, not yet?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
You passed them all?
I may have.
Yeah, you have.
Well, I've been to Groningen,
so you
that's
passed most of them.
I passed most of them, yes. Yeah. But for example, I haven't been to Friesland yet. I don't know if that's how you say it, but
Friesland.
Yeah, the little islands and so on.
Oh no, that's above it. Yeah, but that's
okay.
The Waddeneilanden.
Geography 101.
No, that's no problem. I was looking for a place to stay in a couple of weeks there, but
Friesland I haven't been, as far as I know. At least not for the purpose of going to check it out.
Okay, because that was another question. Are you going to do those things on purpose, or is more like I need to be there around anyway so I can combine it?
I've done both, but I rather go it like on purpose. Make a weekend out of it, or 12.
Makes it easier to find out what you want to do, or it's more like you have more time to.
Because we are now in the south of the Netherlands, pretty much everything is far. So you kind of have to plan if you want to go somewhere.
It's not far. Come on.
A little bit further. So, but I normally plan it as a weekend activity. And before the times we are living now, I'm not mentioning what it is, but before, then if I would go, for example, for a show or something, then I would combine. Like, oh, I'm already going there, so let me see what's what.
Okay.
Then it would be like a 2-in-1.
Yeah, that helps to be there for a good reason.
Yeah, but those are, normally that's quite tight schedule, so I don't have so much time to.
No, because
just
you have
explore.
to travel that long from Limburg to whatever place.
Yeah, jeez.
But then you were exploring the Netherlands, but did you already was writing about Portugal when you are back there? Or did it just start in the Netherlands?
I only start the blog here in the Netherlands. So I was already living in the Netherlands for 2 years when I started the blog. And at that time, I didn't write so much about Portugal as a country to visit. But later on, yeah, as I start missing it more and more, and when I would go back and do other things besides visiting family and friends, and I wanted to go and check places, to just keep the memory alive, then I thought, oh, maybe I can write a post about it. Like, should you be in this area, maybe you could check this and this and that. So, yeah.
So then, besides the Netherlands, you also wrote about Portugal.
Yes.
But is it then as a real explorer, like I need to explore more?
Yeah,
or it's
really.
Like...
Yeah. I became a tourist in my own home country, which it's ridiculous. Yeah.
And
when I go now, I
where
go
did
as
you
a
grow
tourist.
up in Portugal?
I'm sorry?
Where did you grow up in Portugal?
In Lisbon area.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of country to still explore afterwards.
Definitely.
But you were just talking about when you grew up, you had little travels with your parents around the country, the same that we do in the Netherlands, seeing some bigger cities and sometimes smaller ones. Was it for you that you want to go back to certain places because you remember?
Yes, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, I have some flashbacks of some places I've been when I was a child, and now I want to go back and see if my flashbacks are accurate enough or not.
That's
and if
totally
things have
different
changed.
Place, yeah. I've been here, but can't remember.
No, because sometimes you have like what you think it's a memory of a certain place, but it may not be. It's just the experience you had, and things get mixed up. Sometimes.
Yeah, but that's how the brain works, I think.
Yeah.
It's also especially for a child, it always puts on the mask, like the most beautiful memory of that place.
Yeah.
Well, everything else that is maybe bad or bad looking, you just ignore because everything is flowers.
Yeah.
But when you write about those two places, is it also like a diary for you at that moment, like for yourself?
Yeah. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's. Yeah, I write it also with a purpose to not forget what I experienced in certain places. Whether it was a good experience or it was a bad experience, to me, it doesn't matter.
It was an experience.
It was an experience.
Yeah. Okay. But is that why writing?
Why writing?
Yeah.
First of all, I love reading.
But that's not writing.
No, but for me, it's a good way to communicate. And it's not as instant as nowadays is required, almost. But I value, because I like reading, I value the fact that somebody took the time to write about a subject. So, and I think, first of all, I don't like to record videos. So the next option for me to share content with content in it, it's writing. And and then more than just nowadays it's 280 characters on Twitter, I guess.
Oh,
so,
yeah, true. Yeah, 140 was before.
Now it's 280. And I think a blog is a good platform to do so.
Especially when you said it started 7 years ago.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
was the long read.
Yeah.
You could do on blogs now. You could do that also on Facebook, of course, but nobody reads long pages there anymore.
No, indeed. And there was no Instagram back then.
No.
So.
Oh, that's so hard.
Yeah, well,
hard
welcome
life.
to my time. Blogs were really big, and so I think it's a good place.
But did you have experience with writing then, or it was just the reading experience you had, and then
back at school I would write assignments and so on, and I was always willing to write long stories about whatever.
But it's still a different thing to do, to write. I mean, that means you have to memorize something, or do you write when you're there as well?
No, normally my writing process starts once I come back home from the place I've visited. And I try to take photos of things that I want to write about. So they are kind of my...
memory points.
Yeah, memory points. And I always travel with a travel book, let's say, if I go to some place that I've never been before, for example. And yeah, I normally use my photos as a reminder of what I did and what could be interesting for other people.
Okay.
And sometimes I make some notes on my phone, so I just don't forget.
Okay,
let's be honest.
But that's no problem. I mean, when you want to write about something, it comes in handy if you still remember what you want to write about. Okay, let's go back to how you set up a blog, not the blog itself, but the articles in it.
Yeah.
You find out where you want to go.
Yeah.
Is that where it starts, or it's more like I need a blog tomorrow, so I need to go somewhere?
No. Once upon a time, I was a slave of a schedule for the blog. Nowadays, I don't do that anymore. I write when I have time.
Did you have a structure, like planning when it has to be uploaded?
Yeah. Oh. I had the schedule of one post a week. I tried.
Okay.
Or even there was a time. It's not that hard. No, it depends. There was a time I posted twice a week, but I found out that it's not about the quantity, but the quality. And for me to write, I rather spend more time making a more complete post than to just drop 6 or like 5 or 6 photos and say, "Oh, this was really cool. Yeah, you should check it out." That's it.
Yeah, that doesn't say anything. It
just like, look
at my pictures.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. But you have Instagram for that nowadays.
True, yeah.
So I figured it out that I rather spend time doing some research about place I am going or that I've been, and what should I see, what other people should see, and if you go to such place, where can you stay, or where, nice spots for food and drinks, because who doesn't like to have a nice dinner or a nice drink somewhere?
True, yeah.
Right? So I rather spend my time doing that and not having to follow a schedule than just brush things up that I don't like.
But that means that you take time for the pre-trip?
Not so much. The pre-trip, it's mostly checking like which places I have not been and I would like to go. That's more like a planning. Yeah. And then the whole planning, booking, well, back then flights.
Do you also write about that, or is it more only the places itself?
No, I also write about that. Like, I think I even wrote like how I plan my trips, because I like it to be done as fast as possible and not too fuzzy. There's
going to be a link, by the way, on in the description, of course. Yeah. So when people want to search for the blogs you write, they can find it below. But
because let's be realistic. I cannot travel every other week. Well, certainly not now, but before also not. So in between travelings, I always pop some tips, travel tips, or for example, how to pack.
How do you have to pack?
That depends on the duration of your trip. And where you're going. But
when I go to London, I just go for a couple of days. I just have my swing bag with me. Yeah. And it's just like 2 t-shirts, trousers, and underwear and socks.
And that's it.
And the toilet things, the brush and stuff like that. Yeah. That's it. It all fits in one bag.
Perfect.
Nothing else. Yeah.
Because I also don't like to carry a lot of stuff with me. It makes the trip a lot more complicated. And expensive.
Yeah, because you have to check in your bags and that costs money.
Yeah, and that costs money. And you may lose it. And nobody wants that. No. So I try to travel always with a carry-on, if possible. So then I shared some tips on that as well.
But okay, so that's the planning part?
Yeah, that's the pre-trip, let's say. Yeah.
And then you go on a short weekend or longer week or holiday.
Yeah.
And you capture your moments with pictures, and sometimes you say you make some notes so you can remember.
Yeah.
But that means also you can fully invest your time in just being there. It's not like
totally, yeah. Because I want to enjoy. As I'm not a reporter.
No, but sometimes I was just listening to other podcast and it was about influencers, and they're just like they're going to an event.
Yeah.
And they just go to the event for the purpose of making that one picture
Yes.
and leave. I mean, just like, just let them see you've been there, but not that you have experienced it.
Yeah. Well, if it works for them, that's great. But that's not my kind of my way of doing things. You know, it's
You can be fully in the moment.
yeah. I want to be. I want to enjoy the places I'm going, and if I can share that with other people and they find it interesting, cool. That's extra.
But that's the duration of your stay, and you have your list you want to do because you said you're just planning on the highlights or
Yeah, especially if it's a longer trip. If it's just like a weekend, you know, then I normally just go totally explore. I use Google Maps to see if there's anything that I should check, and if not, I just walk around and see what's what.
Great. I mean that means you have you can let go and just
Yeah.
But you want to do a weekend, for example. That means you have to travel somewhere, so that takes time.
Yeah.
And you have to travel back. That takes time. So there's just a small period of time left to do things. Or is it just how do you maximize your time?
So should it
Maybe
be a
that's the question.
weekend? Yeah. How do I maximize it? So should it be a weekend prior what we are living right now? So let's all stay up until 31st December 2019. Until then, I would normally go on a Friday evening because I try to use my weekends for that. So because I can take holiday from work every single weekend. So I would normally go on a Friday evening. So that's like, it doesn't count.
No,
but it's the travel.
Yeah.
So it's already wasted anyway. Then I would take Saturday to really explore as much as possible. And then Sunday, yeah, fly. Yeah. Well, come back home in whatever way. Fly or drive. Yeah.
So you just have one day.
I basically,
to
for
do-
weekends, it's just have one day. Yeah.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, you got to make it work.
You gotta make it work indeed. But for a trip in the Netherlands is easy. But if you want to go to Portugal,
Yeah.
it's most of the time it's longer than a weekend, I guess.
Well, my record has been 22
God.
hours that I've been in the country. I landed and within 22 hours I was already back in the plane.
Oh my god,
Yeah, that was a bit crazy.
I can't imagine.
It's what they call doctor's visit, you know? It's like you go to the doctors.
Yeah,
You're
you
there
have just one
50
meeting.
Yeah,
meeting,
and that's it.
yeah.
Hello, goodbye.
And then you come back.
Yeah.
After a weekend. Do you need to? Because you also have pictures. We come to the picture part later,
Okay.
but to the photo part later. But do you need to write down as fast as possible some things, or just like
No.
try to remember it afterward? When are you going to start writing about that weekend?
That depends on my agenda, actually.
Yeah, because you have to work on Monday again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So normally within the next week or so, I start planning and making like a bullet points, things I want to talk about on such post. And then I take it from there, yeah. But I don't have to do it as soon as I set foot at home, you know. I mean,
but
my
then-
Alzheimer's is not that bad yet.
No, but I mean, a week is still fresh in your memory. It's not
Yeah,
like
yeah. And if while I'm on a trip, if I experience something, then like, oh, I really cannot forget this, then I just make a note on my phone or I write it on a piece of paper or whatever
so. That
to make
means
sure I really don't forget.
because the Alzheimer, yeah.
Yeah, you know. Yeah.
But when you start writing, I mean, I see your Instagram stories sometimes, and you're like, "Oh, my Sunday fully writing."
Yeah.
Um,
My Sunday is normally my blogging day.
yeah.
Yeah.
How do you start writing? Is that taking your bullet points and create a story around it, or it's
Yeah.
like I need a structure, so I start literally at the beginning?
Yeah. My brain works in structure. So and that's why I use bullet points, but then grouped, let's say, like, how can I explain? I have to it cannot just be a story for me, because when I'm reading something, I want it to be to the point. You know,
Give me the information.
Exactly. Give me the information. And in a way that I don't spend 2 hours reading it, because nobody has 2 hours to read anything nowadays. So they say. And so I normally try to come up with a title or a working title. And then I make bullet points of things I should really not forget. And that if it's more like, let's say, an itinerary, what do you need to know if you want to write an itinerary? Or if you want to read an itinerary, you need to know how to get to the place, where should you stay, right? Or at least some options. What are the highlights of that city, country, you know, whatever is the topic. And, you also need places to eat and drink, right? And how do you move around? You know, public transportation, is that an option? And if so, where do I buy my tickets? Or, you know, those kind of things. And if you go by car, where are the parking places, garages, lots? I don't know how you say that.
Yeah.
But where can you park? And, you know, those kind of things. So the more information you want to put in a post, the more time it takes to prepare, because I also have to go and search for that information.
Yeah, it's not that you have searched 3 parking spots on the same place while you've been there, because you only need one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But that means that the Sunday, your writing day, is not only writing, but also researching the trip you already had.
Yeah, because maybe the style I do my trips may not be other people's styles, right? Everybody travels in different ways. So then you kind of have to be a little bit broad how you give the information. But at the same time, I want to be personal, you know, because otherwise people just go on TripAdvisor or, you know, whatever.
Yeah. But that means if you say you don't want to write a story or less a story, like I started with packing my bag and then it's just like so that means the structure you try to have in your blog, it can change by every travel.
Yeah, totally.
With the meaning of the blog at that point. Is there a structure in longer periods of time? Because you say you're already doing this for 7 years. Do you notice that you're using a style per purpose?
I had to adjust to the times, because 7 years ago, the way blogs were consumed was a different way that it is nowadays. Nowadays, and I don't like to say this, but you have to please Google when you're writing.
Don't get me started yet.
Yeah, but it's true. You have to write in a certain way that Google feels like, oh, I should pick this up and show to people. Because if you are a normal person, so to speak, maybe you have, I don't know, a circle of friends and people that know you, like 100 people at the most.
Yeah.
More or less, right? But it would be nice if more than 100 people could read what you write.
True. Yeah.
True, right? So how are they going to find it, right? Previously, as in
back in the days.
Back in the days, people would just spread the word. But I'm not sure that's working anymore, because most people don't read blogs anymore.
No, that's true. Yeah.
So then when they want to get information, they go on Google, right? But if you don't follow certain specifics, Google is not going to list you, and people will not find you.
No, you're somewhere on page 17 and nobody clicks around page 2 to 3.
Well, I do, but most people don't. Yeah.
So I mean, you have to be on top of the list and on Google to. That's most of the times it's advertisement, and after that they're starting the top hits, and after that it goes lower and lower and pushing you back so much away that nobody will find you any day.
Exactly.
But so you say you have to change your writing for Google.
You have to adjust or adapt your writing, or how can I say, not the style that you write, but just complement with things that Google
So the
searches for.
right keywords, the right links.
I mean, a year ago, I had no idea what a keyword, well, that's not true, what a keyword research would be or what SEO would be. Like, what the hell is that, you know? I knew what a CEO was, but an SEO, I had no clue, you know? And I didn't think that would be so important. So, I mean, I write a blog for 7 years, but the blog also kind of evolved, or I thought it did.
Of course, it's evolving. You are evolving. So
so I had to adjust to that as well to make to maximize the reach, because it's nice that you. I mean, I like to write, but if I just want to write for myself, I write a diary on paper. You know, if you write something online, you want people to be able to read it.
Yeah. Otherwise, why would you? Yeah.
Why would you put it?
Yeah. If you hear something in the background, that's possible. We're sitting outside.
It's not my kid.
Your kid is making a way different sounds.
Yes.
Just continue. I don't know if it will pick up on by the mic.
So you have to take that into account, and
So
that's why it takes the process of writing a post. If you don't have that massive audience already backing you up from other platforms, then you have to adjust you have to adjust your content so that Google can pick it up and show it to people who may be searching for that.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. I was just thinking about if I want to go
search engine optimization.
If I want to go left or right in this conversation, because
you can go both ways. Go zigzag.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all good.
Yeah, I mean, this podcast is always going that way, and in that way. So, because you said you didn't write before, so you just started with the blog.
Yeah.
Did you ever think of joining another blog for your writing?
What do you mean?
Telling your stories on different already existing blogs with a bigger following?
No, I never thought of that.
No.
Plus, nobody in my circle of people I knew would write blogs. Not that I knew of. Because also, back in the time, a lot of people would write anonymously. They didn't, at least people I in my country back then, or I was already here, but anyway, people didn't want to know that they were posting stuff online.
Yeah.
So it was kind of underground scene.
No, but because the question why I started, well, I think I wrote for 3 different blogs before I started my own.
Oh.
Because I grew bigger than the rest. I was like, I don't need them.
Share the secrets.
No, it's not the secret. It's just like you can learn a lot of things by writing for other people as well, because they can give you advice that you don't have if you do it all by yourself. But also they give you an advantage to a bigger audience in the beginning.
Yeah, correct.
It's not that they will bring them into your place, but it's more that you get acknowledged, you get your first steps, and
no, I didn't have that.
Oh. No, it's not a bad thing. I mean, that means that you can be creative and starting from your own point.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it was like, I know this structure, and this structure. Okay, let's combine it and place it on my new website and go from there.
No, I kind of learned my way, and as you grow and as you age, things also change.
Of course, because your environment around you changes. I mean, the world changing. So of course
you have to adjust. So.
Yeah, and I think 2 websites don't exist anymore. One maybe, I don't. Even
but yours is still there, standing.
No,
strong.
But not the same when I started. I mean, I wrote a lot of reviews.
Yeah, I remember, like concert reviews, right?
Concert reviews, festival reviews, album reviews, short reviews, bites. And I didn't do that for over a year or even longer.
Wow.
Because...
You miss that?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, why would I write a review about an album these
Why
days.
not?
Why not? Now, more like I can invest time to write that, or I can do 7 other things.
Yeah.
And the
There
7
are other
other
platforms nowadays that they weren't
yeah.
back in the day. Yeah.
So and it's not about reach. I mean, my website I really don't care about reach, because the difference between your platform website and mine is my name is so easy to search.
Yeah.
Whatever you type, even if you type it wrong, you will find my page. And that's the lucky part, that I have this name so long and it's so branded on different websites and different structures. So it's you will find it.
Yeah.
While if you type in traveling Netherlands, it's not gonna be the first hit. No.
So you have to find your way to get there.
Yeah. And if you search my name, you're gonna be on the website. If you search my nickname, you're gonna be at the website. If you search certain bands and you type in photography, you're gonna find me. I mean, it's
there you will be.
Yeah, but that's also the lucky part if you do this for almost 15 years already.
Yeah.
So that's the good part. But it's like I'm still thinking, not daily, but about should I start writing again, because I like to write. I do have a little bit more time, but not that much extra time.
Yeah.
And if I hear albums at this moment, I'm like, I'm not gonna write about it, because I'm not gonna be.
Is it that bad?
It's that bad. No, it's not that bad. There are some really great albums, of course, but it's like I'm not gonna give a review like track by track.
Ah, okay.
So it's more the feeling part, and I like it just felt like the one before, so it didn't change in 3 years. So
Ben's listening to this. Take notes.
No, just join the podcast, because then we can talk about the fact you fucked up. No, it's more like I already wrote about that. I did write.
You've done that before.
Yeah. So why would I repeat the same thing? And that's why I also wrote in shark bites at a certain moment. Just
to the point.
To the point, really short. This is the feeling. That's it.
Yeah.
And maybe 1 or 2 tracks highlighted.
Like your favorites or
but
the worst.
But back in the days, it was really track by track, and what was the meaning about it.
Yeah.
Nobody is interested in that anymore.
But,
maybe if you can do one line, one.
People
sentence.
are just so 30 seconds minded nowadays, you know. If you ask them to spend, I don't know, 5 minutes reading something. Oh, no, in 5 minutes I can be scrolling on Instagram and I've seen I don't know how many things.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, why should I do so?
Yeah, maybe that's...
But not everybody is like that.
No, of course not. So it depends if you want to still do that. And that's, I mean, these podcasts we are in right now, I mean, they're not 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So this is my longer way to go. I mean, the writing part, I can write longer stories about an album and what the vision was and stuff like that. Or I can make a podcast.
Yeah. But back then there was no podcast.
Of course there was a podcast.
It was like called radio station?
No. There were podcasts 15 years ago. Ask Kevin Smith. He knows. No, it's like I 2 years ago I stepped into the podcast making. So for me it's like, okay, I've been doing this.
But this is your way of giving content.
Yeah.
Not so short.
No.
You know, in time.
I don't make any. The only short things I make in content are pictures.
Yeah.
Because you can scroll around them and that's it.
Yeah.
But for the rest, most of the times I make long content now.
Yeah, I think it's nice. You know, there will always be people who are willing to put their time into getting information, valuable information. So yeah, we should all try to be a little bit longer than just an Instagram story or Instagram post.
Yeah.
You know, there's more to that, or more than that.
And you are writing and you make longer blogs.
Yes, because Google also likes longer.
More content, longer content.
Yeah.
And if you post it frequently, they are even happier, but you're saying you're not doing that.
I try to do nowadays, because I also cannot travel so much anymore, right? So I don't have that much content to share. So instead of, let's say, in a month, I share 4 posts, and then the next 2 or 3 months, I got nothing to write. So I
spread it out a little bit.
I spread it out a little bit. So currently I have a post every 2 weeks.
Okay.
So I try, at least I try to do that. because, I have to combine that with all the other things that happen in life. I have to go to work. I have days that are super tiring sometimes, You got to have some sort of social life.
What social life?
Yeah, what's social
What's
nowadays?
life?
I don't know. So, yeah.
No, I understand that. And 7 years ago, you started writing. Did you also thought about making pictures for the blog at that moment?
No, because at that moment, the blog was more like a personal blog.
So just lines of text?
Yeah, just thoughts and, and those kind of things, more personal things. And, but then at a certain point, I got tired of it, honestly. And I thought, I'm just going to give this up because, it's not that interesting, I mean, everybody has their lives. First of all, I'm kind of the private person as well.
You wouldn't say.
I think what it's private is to remain private, and what it's not, then sure, go with it. And I thought, like, why am I sharing this kind of things? Nobody's going to read this. This is not interesting for anyone but me. So I'll write those thoughts on my paper,
Yeah.
And then I was off for like 6 months or so, I guess. But I missed it. I missed to have this platform where I could write and put my free time also to it, But then I had to figure out, like, what do I like to write about? What other subjects do I like? Because if you don't write about something that you really like, it's not going to be interesting for other people to read, because you are, just
stating facts and that's
stating
it.
facts or press releases or whatever. That's very nice, but
I
thank you.
copied one of those sometimes.
I'm sorry?
I copied one of those sometimes. It's like, press release, great.
Yeah, here.
Post.
Yeah, no, thank you. So then I had to find out what I really like and what I can produce more content about. And that's how I got to traveling. Because not only I enjoy traveling, I figured, if this is my thing, I can also use it as an excuse,
to travel. Yeah.
To travel. Like, I should write something, right?
But then also the photography started.
Yeah, then the photography started with it, yeah.
And how did you start with that? I mean...
Well, I asked you a lot of questions, I remember.
But I mean, 5 years ago, it was just, you had your phone. They made 2 megapixel pictures.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
That happened. It was better than the Nokia 3210 with no photos.
No. The Nokia never died. That phone was rocket solid. It's a great phone.
But it didn't make pictures.
No, it didn't make pictures. No.
So how did the picture start then?
Yeah. Wow. I don't know. It started because the quality of the phone was not good, and you start browsing around, like what other people doing, also as as inspiration and so on, and then you see, people nowadays do care about good photos. My pixelized photos, they are not gonna cut it, right? So, and I always, I liked to take photos when I was a kid. I sucked at it, but I liked doing it.
That's the most important thing. You liked it.
You liked it. With analog cameras.
I still remember,
You would go to the shop to get it developed, I think is how you say it.
Yeah.
And then out of 24, you had maybe 1 or 2 good.
Sharp, yeah.
Sharp and not completely dark, that kind of stuff. So I always had that somewhere, the interest in taking pictures. But then once you realize, like, okay, I want and I need to add photos to my posts, and the Instagram then started as well. Yeah, then it can be a crappy photo because, thank you very much, but there are a lot more.
That's a quick scroll,
yeah. Yeah, that's a very quick scroll.
But that means you're gonna have to buy a photo camera.
Yeah.
How did you pick one?
Well, I asked several people, several people, like, for tips. What was on the market at the moment and what were their thoughts. And then I kind of collect ideas from several people, and I ended up buying something that they did not recommend at the time.
A really cool Sony.
Yeah, really cool Sony. No, I went for the mirrorless because at the time it was also starting up.
Yeah.
And it's compact. And like I said, I like to travel light.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to carry a camera bag that it's heavier than my trolley, you know. So I wanted to have something that it could give me good photos. Okay, it's not just the camera; it's also how you use it. But that it would be compact, not just a point and shoot. Because I soon realized, maybe you need different lenses for a different type of photography, and so on, so on. So that's how I got into the mirrorless. Sony, if you're listening to this.
No spawn.
No, I'm honestly, I'm not sponsored by anybody but my own work.
No, I'm still not sponsored. So
No.
And I use Nikon, so it's like...
you're a Nikon team.
Yeah, but I used a Sony for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Until they fucked up big time. And I was like, okay, there's no just step up. So if you don't have a step up, I have to go to someone else.
You mean DSLR?
Yeah.
I think they're out of that.
Yeah,
as far as I know.
Most mirrorless. They still have the 899 that is still there. Like that thing is 7 years old. Come on, people. No, but for me as a photographer, it's like I need a DSLR 5 years ago.
Yeah, 5 years ago.
And you can't go mirrorless. It sucks. It doesn't do what you need. But on the other hand, for your purpose, it's great. Yeah. But for the purpose I should use it, it's just not there yet. Still not there yet. There are still... No, it's still not there yet. No.
We're going to agree to disagree.
No, Nikon released the Z5 this week. And they have the 6 and 7 already. And I like the 6, I think. Or the 7, the one with the most megapixels.
Are we going to start geek out about cameras and
if you
camera gear? No.
No, but they come closer, and that's the whole point, of course.
I think you're also used to a certain type of camera, right? Or gear, so it's difficult. Might be difficult for you to step out of that.
Yeah, and also I don't want to break things, and the smaller things is like. If I handle that, I think the lens will fall off immediately because it's so heavy. If you see the body next to it.
Yeah. But for example, if you go to a full frame mirrorless camera nowadays, they're pretty bulky.
Yeah, but not like a DSLR.
Yeah, but they also weigh like
I have
one quarter
one
of that.
DSLR I have standing in rain during a concert.
Mm-hmm.
It took a while before it breaks down.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's the mirrorless that can handle that much rain.
Wow. We should go explore that.
Maybe one time if I really have money. No, but it was more the segue into you bought a mirrorless camera 5 years ago. A really cool Sony.
Yeah.
Do you still need it?
Well, I don't use that camera anymore. But if I need a camera or if I can use another device?
Yeah.
I think you still need a camera if you like to do more than just, this is nice, pump, check, that's it. You know, if you want to put time into learning a few things here and there, even though phones have evolved quite a lot when it comes to cameras. Yeah. But I don't think it's still at the same level as a camera.
So it's more like you use your phone for the Instagram stories.
Yeah.
And you use the camera for the blog post.
Or I use my phone when I forget the SD card. That also happens.
Yeah, of course. I had a recording last week and I used this device, the Zoom H6, which I use to record podcasts, but also for the SharQ sessions I record. Because there's just 4 lines in and that's it. And the SD card didn't work. And I was like, I didn't touch it. How can it break down? I just still there. And I thought, maybe there's no SD card in it, and that's the problem. Now it's there. Okay, maybe it's the micro SD card. No, it's not the problem. Luckily, I have everything with me. So I had another different card and plugged that in, and it was directly working. So I was like, okay, at least I can go forward. Otherwise, I'm in Tilburg at that moment and I can't do shit.
Yeah, that sucks.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I had similar feeling a few weeks or a month ago or so. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, we forget about things while we are
Yeah.
quarantined. Yeah.
Yeah, we were, sort of a lockdown
Yeah.
here. But at that time, things were starting to open up, and we were like, oh, want to go out, just for a walk. And I thought, oh, cool. I'm going to take some pictures because, I haven't taken any pictures since end of February.
Yeah.
And this was May or something like that, or June. But I don't know. Doesn't matter. I was like, okay, I'm going to prepare. So I've been preparing for the whole thing for a week. Are the lenses clean? Are the batteries charged? I'm going to put everything nice in the bag. And I just forgot to take the damn SD card. So I got into
Thought of
this
everything
city.
about one literally small detail.
Yeah. I got into the city, switch the camera on, and then first message is no SD card or no card. And I was like, what do you mean no card? And there was no card. So yeah.
That happened.
Then you got to use your phone.
Then you're going to use your phone, yeah.
And for that, it's nice to have a phone that can take also good pictures.
Yeah, I still hope when the new... I was looking where my phone was. When the new iPhone comes out, it has better
We're
pictures.
certainly not going to talk about iPhones.
No, the camera is still pretty sucky, I think.
iPhones.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are certain things we're never going to agree.
No, it doesn't need to. No, it's. I will buy an iPhone every year. I don't mind. Every 2 years.
Yeah.
But then you have a camera, and you can also record movies, clips.
Yeah.
You try that.
I tried, but it was actually with my phone.
Oh, okay.
It was actually with my phone. Yeah, I tried.
I mean, I searched on your blog and you saw you still have the YouTube channel up.
Yeah, I have like 3 videos on it.
Yeah, the San Francisco things.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah. I did San Francisco vlogs. Yeah. And Vienna?
Yeah, just there were just the San Francisco and one other.
Vienna it was.
Yeah.
And I actually did for Madrid, but then I didn't post it.
But
Celia.
but it's over a year ago. You just don't like it, or it's just not your way to.
I don't think it's my jam.
That's okay. I mean,
I don't think so. It could be a nice add-on to the posts and so on, but then I have to show up more on camera, because I think that's how you post on YouTube. I have no idea.
It depends on which way you want to go. I mean, people are still looking. If I can point any direction, but if you're looking at your screen right now in YouTube or Facebook, you're just seeing one picture the whole podcast long.
Better be a good picture.
You sent it to me, so don't blame me.
Oh, sorry about that, guys. It was taken with a phone, by the way.
And with shades on.
Yeah.
No, video is a whole different thing. I mean, it's and especially if you don't, as you say, you don't appearing in it, you don't talk in it, and just being frames.
Yeah, you're playing like Google Maps almost, So until I am no longer super camera shy, I don't think I'm going to do it.
So we should have put up the camera here.
No,
so
no,
it's
no,
a bit,
no. It was in our contract, no cameras.
That's true. That's true. I forgot that.
No,
that was the extra edition you wanted.
Yeah,
next 20K. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so you tried that and
I
just
did.
left it.
Yeah, because I never made videos before, so I realized, oh, this takes a lot of time. Yeah. Where is the time?
Of course, I mean, I know, yeah.
Right? The problem is if I put up something, whether it's a photo, an article, or a video, I like to make it as good as I possibly can. And that may be a little bit too much sometimes, and I just don't have the time. I have to be realistic. I really don't have the time. So you got to prioritize.
Yeah, and then the picture are complementary on the on the text you write.
Yeah.
And the video is no additional extra information.
No,
like that.
I think it's a different audience as well. So yeah, you got to find your tribe.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and if you don't, I mean, I am looking to a lot of videos on YouTube these days. I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah,
we have more time, but there are so many ways to do something, and there are some people you really like the style, and the other ones are just
Yeah.
not. I mean, the other podcast I have, DNS with Davey. He's a Disney vlogger.
Disney vlogger?
Yeah, he goes to Disney parks and vlogs about it. It's really cool.
Okay.
Check out the other podcast or his vlogs, of course. And he has 20 minutes, 25 minutes of one park day.
It's like a mini series or something.
Yeah, it's really cool because then he just came back last week from the reopening of the Paris park.
Uh-huh.
And he put up 25 minutes of the opening day and 25 minutes of the second day. And other vloggers are putting up 1.5 hours, and I'm like, I'm never ever gonna watch 1.5 hours of content.
Not in one go.
No, it's even 25. I sometimes just pause and do something else. But it's like 1.5. How can't you cut back on 1.5 hours?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, this podcast is gonna be on 1.5 hours, but it's like,
oops.
How can you don't crank? Well, how?
How is that possible? Yeah.
How can you video that much for one day? Sometimes it's just like. Some people can, and they want to watch it. They still have a lot of viewers, of course.
That because there's a crowd for everything, I guess, in the end.
Yeah,
that's
true.
I hope that there's people for all kind of platforms and contents out there. I hope. I like to believe that at least.
But with a reading part of a podcast, I think with most things, you can pause at any moment you want. I mean, nobody tells you have to read the article in one part or on one go.
Yeah.
So that same counts for the podcast. If you want to do something else right now, just pause it.
Just pause it, go do your thing, and then come back.
Exactly.
We will still be here.
Yeah.
Go on. We're waiting.
This takes long.
Yeah.
Aren't you back yet?
Yeah. Come on, hurry up.
No, but that's how it goes. I mean, as you said before, it just the content has to be shorter while it has to be longer for the Google searches.
You have to find a balance, I think.
And another thing you were talking about is to promote your content.
I'm only now learning how to do that, to be fairly honest. I'm always late for the party.
No, it's no, because other ones can go on flat on their face because they're running ahead, and you are just like, did you feel good? I don't do that then. What did you learn how to promote it?
Yeah. Let me be honest. I sucked at it for a very long time. Because I thought, people are just going to find me, right? Wrong. 7 years ago, probably not anymore. And then I found out, maybe you have to go into, for example, Facebook groups of certain topics and, go interact with people. And, you share your content and other people share theirs and you read each other's and, you
comment on each other.
Yeah, you kind of do a network or you try to make a network. And another platform that I use a lot to promote my content is Twitter. I know
Is that still big?
I think so.
I heard something about a problem last week about Twitter.
Oh, I'm not that famous, so it didn't affect me.
So you didn't give away bitcoins?
No. Well, what are bitcoins? Is that real money?
Yeah, that's real money.
Oh, you see, I'm always late for that party as well. So
you can still buy. It's no problem.
No. I'm allergic to money, actually. Oh, okay. Now I hear too much info for you guys, but yeah.
But you say you promote on Twitter and on groups?
Yeah, on Facebook groups and on Twitter and also on Instagram, yeah. But it's a bit more difficult for me on Instagram because I don't have the swipe up function kind of thing.
They just have to release that for everyone instead of the only
that would be great because
10K plus.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I mean, why isn't
I have a workaround, I can tell you.
That's he's going to share his secrets.
No, it's not that difficult. You just have to use Instagram.
IG? The IGTV?
Yeah.
Oh.
If you use a small clip, put on a link, no other things, just the link, you can swipe up to the video and then you can click it.
So that's 2 steps.
Yeah, it's 2 steps more than anyone else has to do if you have 10K followers.
Uh-huh.
But
or you buy 9,000 followers and then you're there.
That you can do as well, and right? It has no use.
No, that's no use. So I rather go, steady And step by step.
I deleted followers.
Yeah, me too.
I mean,
sorry, guys.
No, not that I don't follow. No, I don't follow back many people, but people that are following me, I deleted. Just to have lower numbers, so I have a bigger reach.
Oh.
Because when the higher you get, the more numbers you make, the less people are going to see your post.
Oh.
It sucks.
No, I delete or block like fake profiles.
Oh, yeah.
And if I can't see who you are, then I'm sorry, but you're also not going to see who I am. Yeah. Even though I try to reach more people, I want to make sure that I'm actually reaching people.
Yeah.
And not just, those that are just...
It's harder work, but on the other hand, it gives you more real comments and real likes. And
I would like to get to people, or I should say, I would like people to know what I do, but real people and people who are willing to engage with my content and with me. Because if that's not the case, then we are not fit for each other.
No, I understand that. Bye.
Bye-bye.
No, I understand. I mean, I still have to struggle. I mean, if you see the comments on pictures, it's just like 0.
Yeah.
But you still have some likes, and it's like, okay. And if you post from certain bands, there are a lot of comments on certain pictures.
Yeah.
And for the rest, it's just like all silent. It's like, didn't you see the best pictures? Like, come on, just click one more and comment there. But no.
No. It's also hard for me because even, some people almost demand that I should show up more on my photos. Like, oh, people might want to see who you are, or, you know.
I still have the same struggle. I never, ever, ever take a selfie. And people are still
that's so hard.
As people are like, you're never in the picture. I'm like, I have posted over, I think, 300 hours of podcast with video. Yeah. You can see me.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see me.
I'm right there.
But I don't do a selfie. No, sorry.
So I try here and there to, let people know who's behind the camera. But that only makes sense if I'm actually talking to people and to people that want to interact. If you're just, I don't know if you say that in English, like a looker. No, how do you say it? Those people that are just there just to look.
Yeah.
Just like being nosy almost, you know? Then, no.
And you want to try out all the filters.
Yes, because why not? Right? They're there, so... Sorry, I'm not going to put the bunny ears and the dog
not the
nose.
Snapchat things, no.
No, I'm sorry, no. That's not for me. That's for other people.
But all the other filters.
Yeah. I will try.
Well, but it's good to have a face, of course, by your blog and the things you put out, of course. I mean, you have a really good profile picture on the blog as well. That just people can see who you are and see who writes everything. Yeah,
I have a coach, actually, a blog coach and social media coach, and she strongly advised me to get a good profile picture. I had a picture there, but you could not see my face because I hardly take pictures of myself or ask anybody to do so. So she was like, no, try, people may want to know who is writing this blog or who is taking these Instagram photos of the places you visit. So show yourself a little bit. And I was like, okay, but I am terrible at selfies, right? And I have to ask somebody to take a photo of me. And I have to, or I wanted to ask somebody that I already liked the
style.
The style. Yeah. And that's how I got to Emily Garçon.
Yeah. Really great girl.
Yeah. She's fantastic. She's fantastic. It's not only she's an amazing person, but her photography, I really like her style.
I can understand.
Yeah.
And okay, I think we come to a closure of that blog part.
Okay. Well, if you still want to talk about that one.
Yeah, we still can. I still think the 3 for 3
the what?
Yeah, you have one part on the blog. It says 3 for 3 or 3.
I'm going to check it out. What you're saying?
3 tips and 3 cities and 3 places you have to go.
The 3 series.
Yeah.
I
think it's a great concept. I mean, it's just compact directly.
Yeah, exactly. Because sometimes you just don't have any personal experience to share, but maybe you have a wish list. right? Like, maybe I would like to go visit this and this and that. So then you make a top 3. I love tops, like top 3, top 5, top 10, this kind of things.
I sometimes try it to put on Google and find something. It's like, that doesn't even work because they're not the top 50 I want to see. I mean, no, I was not looking for that, people. I was looking for the other 50. But yeah, that's...
that can happen.
Yeah, of course, but that's how different pages, of course, work.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to more change over to the... not the marketing part of it.
Oh,
but
I'm not that good at it.
No, but more like you say you have to show your face a little bit more.
Yeah.
You have a little bit more structure in the content for that. But what's next then?
Next is
what do you want to do with the page?
Oh.
Good question. Next
Good question. Now, give me 10 hours to think about that. I'll come back to you tomorrow.
We cut it in tomorrow.
Yeah. No. Hello tomorrow. No, I would like to be sort of a reference when people search for travel content, but not just as like...
paid advertisements.
Yeah. No, I want it to be also a personal take on traveling and travel experiences or tips or whatever, I wanted that people, when they read it, they know that it was me who wrote that. It may sound a bit selfish, but I hope that's not coming out.
It's from a person.
That it's from a person, from a person to another person, from a little bit of personal perspective to things as well. And I've been told I have a very funny way of writing. And people who know me and read my blogs, sometimes they come back and say, hey, it was almost like I was talking to you. I was like, that was it. Got it. I nailed that one.
You didn't have time to talk to all the readers, but this a good solution for that. No, because we had a little bit more topics in the chat.
Okay.
So, want to talk about Ronaldo now?
There's not much to say about Ronaldo that hasn't been said. Oh no, he bought a yacht this week.
Yeah,
Did you know that?
No, I don't know.
It was all over Portuguese news.
No,
he bought a yacht. Yacht. I don't know how I say it.
I don't.
Big
follow
boat.
Him. Big boat. No, more.
I also don't follow him.
No.
No. It's ridiculous, huh?
Yeah,
I do follow the national team profile.
The official one.
I'm sorry.
The fan page. You are the host of the fan page now.
No.
Only during the championships.
Yes.
Thank
you, Corona. We're going to be champions for one more year, at least.
Oh, snap. Now, more about, I want to segue into Portugal because we never talked about Portugal.
No.
Why is that? No.
I don't know. Why? Why have we not talked about Portugal? What would you like to know about Portugal?
The most because you always said you moved to the Netherlands and lived for a really long time in Portugal. What are the differences between the two countries in cultural way? Because when you change over it at the age you did, you know a lot about the Portugal way, and then you certainly drop into the Netherlands.
Yeah.
And then you have to adjust a little bit thing, or
I had a little crash course before.
Yeah.
I lived 6 months in Brussels.
Okay.
So that was my first experience as
non-citizen born there. Yeah.
I went to Brussels to do Erasmus
scholarship.
Yeah, scholarship for 6 months, and that was already quite a shock. At the time, I remember, I was really curious to go, and I always wanted to do such a thing, but I was not that prepared for it. So when I had to be in a big city as Brussels is, and so diverse, I was like, oh, okay, so this is how it is. All right. It was, yeah.
But you did you learn English while in Brussels or before in Portugal?
No, I learned English in Portugal in school, and just I think a semester before I came to Brussels, I had a extra English course.
Okay, so no French.
I had French in a middle school.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but French is very similar to Portuguese in a grammar kind of, yeah,
way.
And when I was in Brussels, one of my classes was French.
Okay.
So, yeah. And the classes I had to attend were in French.
I hate it.
Because I thought French is a bit easier to learn than Flemish at that point. Flemish like Dutch.
Yeah.
Dutch, I don't know. So I thought, no, I go for the French school.
Oh, lucky you.
Instead.
I hated French in school. No, but what are the differences? Because then when you
between Portugal and Netherlands.
Yeah, because I can imagine there are.
Oh man, everything is different. Really, there's pretty much nothing in common. For the good and for the bad.
But how do you adjust for that then? How do you?
It's pretty much a never-ending story or experience. Yeah, it's really hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's really hard. In the beginning, I was in love with the idea of being, away from what I knew.
Something new, something different.
It was like this whole crazy adventure. Like I had to work, but it felt like almost like a holiday, right? Because even the supermarket was new, or the grocery store. So everything was, different. And when everything is different for the first time, it's very exciting. But once you do that for a longer time, it's not so different anymore. And then you get used to that. And that's when you start noticing the differences. And then a visit to the grocery store, for example, is not that exciting anymore because you are missing things that are plenty in the grocery stores you've been your whole life. Okay. That's just an example.
But you did that. You did change to be living here in the Netherlands.
It was my conscious decision, actually.
You had to.
Yeah. It was when I graduated from university, the economic crisis was just booming in Portugal. So I literally had no jobs opportunities for me. There was nothing within the field that I had studied.
What did you study?
I studied physics engineering.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I spent 5 years at university and I wanted to put that to use. I didn't want to go and do something else that had nothing to do with it because I had spent time, energy, money. So I wanted to,
Progress,
get something out of it or from it. And at that time, there was no work. And even at the university itself, most universities in Portugal are public. So they have some funds from the government. Mm-hmm. And at that time, there were no funds, There were people being fired. So the prospects were very bad. So I thought, well, Portugal is very nice, but there's a lot more out there.
Great weather, but...
there's more out there. So I just have to go and look for it. And within a year after I graduated, then... a little bit more than I found a job here in the Netherlands. So
in the Netherlands?
I work for a Dutch company.
Really?
Yeah. My contract is in the Netherlands. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
But my working place is in Germany.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I get that.
Yeah.
So then you come over to the Netherlands?
Yeah, because they were looking for engineers at that time. Apparently there's not so many people with a technical background here in the Netherlands. Or at least not at that time.
It's growing, yeah, indeed. Yeah. We are a little bit behind in that, I think. A lot of technical things are just growing markets, and Netherlands got in a lot of people from other countries before, and then they started to grow and learn and teach.
Yeah.
The young kids, this is the way you have to go.
Yeah.
And then you have a lot of kids that has those...
Kids study math.
And at a certain point, you don't need those many people anymore. And then you have a problem as well. But then you come to the Netherlands. Mm-hmm. Can you just work everywhere?
Me as a European citizen? I can.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I don't need a visa or anything like that. No. Just need to get registered. So that they know that you are living here and pay your taxes.
Of course.
Yay. So, but that's it, yeah.
But that's great. I mean, that doesn't mean you have a big hassle to just go somewhere else to do.
No, and it's the same thing that people who go work in Portugal. It's part of the deal of being in the European Union and in this whole Schengen area. So.
But what is the language you have to speak at your job?
I speak English.
Okay.
At my job, at my work.
So that's easy to just do all day.
It became easier with the time, of course, and my Portuguese is getting very rusty.
Of course, that's the bad the other side of the story.
Yeah, that's the other side.
But when you come to the Netherlands, everyone here speaks English.
Yeah, it's amazing actually, because I was not expecting that, and I was very surprised that it was so easy to be accepted.
But does that mean you don't need to learn Dutch?
I think you always should learn Dutch, or you should learn the language of the country where you're moving in. I guess that's how you say
to,
it.
yeah.
Into.
Where you're staying in and moving to.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
yeah, well, where you're going to live. I think you should always learn the language. Yeah.
But do you have, did you had to go back to classes for that?
Yeah, I had Dutch classes for, I don't know, few months, a year.
Is that,
I think.
Do you have to do that from the government part?
No,
or
no,
it's
no.
like,
I did it because I wanted to do
okay.
it. Yeah.
Because most immigrants have to do the course thing.
But that's if you want to be a citizen of the country. And with all the respect, that's not for me right now.
Okay. No,
the only advantage is that I could vote.
But you didn't need to vote.
For the government, let's say.
One vote doesn't gonna change it.
One vote is always better than no vote.
But you can vote in Portugal.
Yes, and I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why you fly back for the 22 hours to just get to do the voting and go back.
No, I drive over 500 kilometers to go to The Hague to vote. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a different thing. But that means you have a vote in a system you're not going to live in.
Not now.
No, exactly. But yeah,
not now.
That's okay. And when you look around in the Netherlands and compare it to Portugal, how are and then we come back, of course, to your travel part.
Yes.
What is the difference between in traveling? How is the seeing places or experience places?
From my experience in Portugal, the first option that comes to mind is by car. You go everywhere by car. Even if it's at the grocery store at the end of the street, you go by car.
Okay.
And here in the Netherlands, I was really amazed that you could go anywhere by train, for example. And the trains were good.
Yeah, they don't always ride on time, but yeah, they're
I mean, you're not in Japan, but...
they are structural.
Yeah. But in that sense, that's one of the biggest differences, I would say. Yeah. That you can reach any part or most parts of the Netherlands by train. And in Portugal, some parts of the country are not reachable by train. So you always have to drive, I would say. That's one of the biggest differences, yeah.
But it's when you came over to the Netherlands, did you already have your driver's license?
Yeah.
And you can just use it here. So that's easy. Just get a car and drive.
Yeah, exactly.
But then you see
it sounds easier than it is, but yes.
Yeah. But then you see everyone
because you don't understand the traffic signs, yeah?
Why? They're just signs. They're not...
Yeah, well, sometimes they have something written on them, and those yellow ones, this, like when there's something on the road or whatever.
Of course, yeah.
Goodness. So you don't understand.
When they work on roads and stuff like that. Okay, yeah. I understand, yeah. But most of us don't read them and just drive by and just drive faster.
But that's, I think, one of the biggest differences is
but
go by car or not.
Culture-wise, I never went to Portugal. Still have to go. I know.
I'm not going to forgive that. And I'm not going to forget that. My Alzheimer's is selective.
You have to make a mental note for that.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not joking about people who have Alzheimer's, by the way.
No, but of course not. How is the culture-wise? I mean,
Well, Portuguese people are a lot louder than Dutch people on sober states.
Okay.
You know, like normal. We talk a lot with our hands, almost like Italians, but not so bad. I love Italians, by the way.
Okay, yeah.
So, for example, I've heard Dutch people saying to me like, "You sound so different when you're speaking in Portuguese than when you're speaking in English." And I was like, "Yep," because it's just different.
It's more emotion, or it's more like energetic?
It's more energetic, and there's more tones in it. It's just different.
Okay.
Yeah. Did I explain it?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, that's okay. No, let's wrap up with a final question. Unless you want to, if you want to ask me something, but I'm kind of out of my questions.
Why haven't you been to Portugal yet?
I don't travel that much to unknown places.
You've traveled a lot in the past. I remember.
No, I don't travel that much.
In the past, you did. Anybody no travels? No.
I travel with reasons most of the times.
Yeah.
So.
You want me to give you reasons to go to Portugal?
Exactly. That was what would be my closing question. Like, what would your advice be besides go to your blog and look for it, because you posted that, of course.
Yeah.
But where should I go? I mean, I want to go for a concert.
Yeah.
But if you leave that out for some reasons these days, what can I experience in Portugal? What would be a really nice trip?
I honestly think any person can have a specific type of holiday in Portugal. You can do pretty much anything. If you want to go on a city trip, you can go to Portugal. You have beautiful cities, just like city hopping, for example. You can do that. You have Lisbon, you have Porto, you have Coimbra, Braga, Viseu, God knows, Évora in the south. So there's plenty of cities, beautiful cities to visit. If you like beach, I mean, I don't even have to mention it, but the most well-known part of Portugal for that, it's the Algarve. That's totally down south, where beautiful beaches and the water is warmer there than in the rest of the country. Okay. But Portugal has a huge coastline, huh?
Of course.
So all the way from the north towards the south. So there's a lot of beaches. If you like surfing.
No.
Not you, but maybe other people do. You can also go to Portugal for surfing, because they're in I think it's called Nazaré. Yeah, in Nazaré they have some of the biggest waves in the world. You got to be a pro to do that, though, I heard. Because it's like huge, really huge. But if, for example, if you like hikings or just nature, then you have to go to the north and countryside, because we also have mountains in Portugal. It's not just beach. Okay. It even snows in Portugal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When?
Well, in the winter.
Yeah, but if I look up here, it's almost winter.
Yeah, here in the Netherlands, it's always winter. Yeah. But in Portugal, winter starts, let's say, not the calendar winter, but from November to February or so. Then you can go, and then you have the more or closer to Spain, so to say, northeast there, and so you beautiful mountains to go on hikes and do all kind of sports. For example, if you want, you can even go skiing if that's your thing. If you like, let's see.
How about food?
I was about to say that. Okay. The food is just like the country. It depends on which region you are. You have different plates or different foods. So if you want to go on a food trip, so to say, oh, hello. If you want to go on a food trip, you can totally go, if you like fish, normally you stay close to the coast, right? And if you go more into the countryside, then you have different, more like stews and those kind of things. I don't know the proper names in English. I'm sorry. And I'm not that big of a chef. Yeah. So, but yeah, the food is very good and very diverse. The wine is very good. The beer is good and cheap. And it's like, you see, I'm good doing marketing for others. Huh? You know,
Yeah.
you know.
Maybe you should ask the state of Portugal.
They should hire me to do this. Huh?
Yeah, to be the representative in the Netherlands for Portugal.
Yeah, actually, when I first moved to the Netherlands, Lisbon was not such a high place back then for people to go traveling. So I started talking more about Lisbon and so on and so on. And then a year or two later, it was like, oh man, I've been to Lisbon. You were so right. It's such Lisbon is just an example, huh? Because that's where I come from.
Yeah.
But you can also for families, you know, you can go camping. There's so many things you can do in Portugal. Anything, pretty much, you can do it.
I think that's a great note to end this podcast with. The only thing is you need a car.
No, you can rent a car. Look, I've done like road trips in Portugal without a car. I went like on buses, for example. You can also do that with buses.
But no trains.
Like express buses. Trains also, but it's more like connection between bigger cities, so to say. Yeah. If you want to stay away from the bigger cities, then a car or a bus. It's the way to go, I'd say.
Okay.
Or a motorcycle.
Yeah. Okay. I don't have that license.
Yeah, me neither.
Where can people find you? Facebook, Instagram.
They can all find me under the name of Porty's Diary, and that's with a Y. PORTYS, and then diary all together. And on Instagram, on Facebook, on the blog, portysdiary.com.
Okay.
And yeah, that's
great. I'll link them all below.
He's going to link everything.
Yeah. So if you're looking on Facebook or YouTube, it's below. If you go to the podcast, it's in your show notes. So everyone can find anything they want. And otherwise, you just DM one of us.
Yeah.
I didn't find you yet, so DM me and I will just link and it will be all fine, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Really thank you for having me. It was a nice conversation.
You having me, I'm at your place, so I can't link that below. But
No. That's top secret.
Yeah,
that's top
just
secret.
Somewhere in the south of Netherlands.
In one of the most beautiful cities of the Netherlands, I must say.
Yeah.
Oh, that was my dog.
Yeah, that was your child.
Yeah, that was my child.
Yeah. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Yeah. Let's see when there will be another SharQ Talk. Whenever, ever. When
you guys listen to SharQ Talks. Listen to it. Oh, you mean with me?
No, but yeah, you on the first row maybe one day if you have a lot of time. But
goodness.
No. No. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.